Hey guys, it's Marit. Just wanted to run this video for you guys on beginner strength training. When I do this video, you will see the beginner exercises first. There's going to be modifications to make it incrementally harder for each exercise. Each one of these exercises will work you from head to toe, so I picked a little bit of something for your upper body, a little something for your core, a little something for your lower, a couple full body movements as well. You will see that you don't need any equipment, don't even need to be in a gym. I'm going to video it outside actually, so you'll see that I have just a step and a mat. You can definitely do this in your living room. You hardly need any space at all, which you will see. I would have videoed it in the living room, but it is just a little too small to video in there. So one of the other important things is that you really work on your form and you maintain good form throughout all of your repetitions. You will find that as you get fatigued, that your form is going to kind of go to crap. So I just want you to keep in mind, how you're feeling and each repetition. And that's why I'm doing this video, so you know what you're looking for and you know if your form isn't good. So if you do find that your form is lacking as you fatigue, just take a couple seconds, rest, go back to it, or you can just take it down a notch and go back to the easier variation of the exercise to finish off so you have good form throughout. So let's go.
All right, so here we are doing some squats. This is the most modified version where you're basically just sitting down and standing up. Weight is in your heels, your chest is up and tall. Next variation, I'm just going to tap my butt lightly, so it requires a little bit more control there. With all squats, just making sure that the weight is in your heels, you're sitting back with your butt first thing. So here's another modified version, just going shallow. If you have bad knees, this is a good option for you. And then we're going to bring it down to the full range of motion, but all the way down as far as you can get it. Moving on to push-ups. You can certainly do this off a higher step. This is what I happen to have here. So on your knees, keeping your planked position the whole time. So your whole body comes in and your whole body comes out. And again, you don't have to go this low. I'm showing full range of motion, but if you can only do half range, that's totally fine. Start with that. Just make sure your elbows aren't flaring all the way out to your sides. You want them at about a 45-degree angle if you're looking from behind you. So not all the way out, but not all the way in either. Moving on to heel taps here. This is an abdominal move. The setup for this is to do a pelvic tilt, which means that your lower back is curled into the mat. So there's no space under your back ever. And that's what really makes your abdominals do the work here. This is the next variation where you're going to keep both feet in the air and just slowly tap one heel at a time, very controlled. And then next variation, keeping your upper back off, so working the upper abs a little bit at the same time. Everything's curled in, tucked in, very controlled movement there. Here we are moving on to stationary lunges. Modified version, we're just going to go shallow, just like the squats. The weight is pretty evenly distributed through your front foot and your back foot. You're staying up on that back toe. That's really important. Your front heel should never leave the ground. So you can do a full range of motion or half range, whichever you prefer. Moving on to step-ups. This is an easier version where you're just going to tap at the top. You're pushing through your heel. And then you can add in a little balance at the top there with a knee up at the top. Moving on to dips. This movement is for upper back stability and triceps, so backs of your arms. You want to keep your arms, your elbows tucked in behind you, your chest really up and tall, and your butt is going to just barely graze the edge of your bench, your chair, whatever you're doing this off of. So as you move your feet out, this move gets harder. You're going to transfer more weight to your upper body. And then moving on to a plank position. So this is a high plank. We're just going to hold for option 1. Then this is called a cross under, where you're just going to reach under your body towards your opposite hip. And the point of this is that your hips aren't turning a lot side to side. So you're really focusing on keeping that plank position while you're moving your upper body. And then this is just the more advanced version off the ground. Like with a lot of these things, like I said, you can do it off a higher table, a counter, or something like that would work fine if you want to start with an easier version. This is a burpee. Lots of different variations here. This is just a step back, step up variation. So you're stepping back to a really tight plank. You don't want to let your butt sag and bow. Next variation, you're going to hop back, stand up, hop back, tight plank, and hop up is the next hardest. Then we're going to add in a push-up, hop up, and a hop up at the top. And last but not least, this is the most advanced. You're going to hop back, do a push-up, hop up, and then a jump up at the top. Those are pretty tough. Great full body exercise though. Moving on to Superman's. This is a lower back, glute, hamstring, upper back, core exercise. Basically lifting your limbs off the floor, so upper body and lower body both at the same time. Trying to get as much height as you can, taking a nice little pause at the top. So I hope this was helpful for you guys in starting your strength training program at home. Leave me your comments below. Thanks!